Today, we traveled to Pelican Rapids, Minnesota to take the next state park hiking club trail at Maplewood State Park, an equine enthusiast's favorite as we found out on the trail. According to the DNR website, Maplewood was originally proposed as a state park way back in 1923. It failed to garner the necessary support and was shelved for 40 years, until 1963, when revived interest allowed the park to finally be created, when it was officially approved by the state legislature. It is also a location that has produced artifacts showing human habitation periodically as far back as 6,000 years, with a good majority of these artifacts being from around 900 to 1200 years ago. The wildlife is diverse, with deer, beavers, and 48 other varieties of mammals, as well as 25 types of reptiles and amphibians. There are also 150 types of bird species, not surprising given its varied landscape of prairie, forest, and lakes that exist within the park. This diversity extends to flowers as well, including the trillium bloodroot, yellow lady slippers, wild onion, prairie rose, and the showy milkweed. The park is awash with color during spring through fall, and it's not just the flowers that bring this color, but towards the fall, as the flowers taper out, the maple leaves start to turn vibrant colors. Fall would absolutely be one of the best times to come visit this park, when the bugs have started to decline due to the drop in temperature and the maple trees set the canopy on fire with reds and yellows. Like Glacial Lakes State Park, an hour and a half to the south, Maplewood lies on a series of hills created by the Alexandria Glacial Moraine, which was deposited during the last ice age. Compared to some of the nearby farmland, it can be some significant changes in altitude, with the highest point of the park being 1,600 feet. The trees within the park are unsurprisingly dominated by sugar maples, giving the park its name, but also basswood, oak, red cedar, and tamarack. The park's location within a transition area between western prairie and eastern forest allows it to harbor plants and animals that enjoy either biome. The lakes are good for fishing, specifically for rainbow trout, crappie, pike, and walleye in the various lakes within the park. While on the trail, I ran into a riderless horse. The horse announced herself at a distance before I could even see her. I promptly moved off the path and let her trot along through. I heard a few people discussing the horse before I headed on the trail, and the horse was headed back to the trail head, so I hope the horse found their way back to the group. Kind of a cool experience, but I've heard horses don't like to be left when the rest of the herd goes for a ride, so I'm assuming this one was just out looking for her friends, which again, I hope she caught up with. At 6.2 miles, this hiking club trail is tied for the longest, with Meyer Big Island, Blue Mounds, and Beaver Creek state parks. It took a few hours to complete, and in midsummer, when we took this trail, we packed a good amount of water and drank it all. The trail alternates between sunny prairies, forests, and lakeside sprawls, so you'll want to pack the gambit for it: sunscreen, bug spray, and lots of water. The first section takes you through a small field, and then into the woods. It was shortly after the start that I saw the horse trotting by, still near the beginning and in relatively dense tree cover. It's not long before you see the Cataract Lake on your right as you pass between the first set of lakes. There's no really steep ascents in this park, but there is a good amount of varying elevation as you climb small hills within the forest. The next lake you pass near is Grass Lake, and while the trail veers away for a moment from Grass Lake, it takes you out into the prairie. The prairie gets quite warm, although you are only in it for a relatively short amount of time. There's a few signs indicating the reason for these prairies interspersed through the forest. It comes down to a common sight in Minnesota history: homesteads. After that, it was back into the woods once more. The trail then loops back down and around and comes up between Bass and Beer Lakes, which sounds made up, and honestly, also a great place to go fishing. It is an extremely popular equestrian enthusiast state park, and I passed dozens of riders while hiking, and as I neared mile 5, I'll be honest, I was a little jealous and wished I too could be riding a horse. My favorite part of this trail was the horses. I've always enjoyed horses, and the opportunity to see so many horses out on the trail was exciting. Seeing the one trotting through the woods was also pretty cool, but again, I hope they found their herd well enough. There were so many horse riders on this trail with so many cool looking horses. The only other state park I've seen nearly this many horses out on was Forestville Mystery Cave, where I came across a similar number of horses when comparing the distance of the trails. Best moment on my trails Wasn't here, but down in Ames, Iowa, when I passed a father out riding with his daughter and her friends, blaring early 2000s boy band music from a boombox secured to the back of their horse. Just hilarious. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, we're closing in on the end of the series, so let us know what hiking challenge you'd like to see us cover next.